Hello, and welcome to another exciting Meta Breakers podcast. This is the episode 105, starring all three hosts as normal, D-Money Games, or just D-Money now, Warshack, and myself, Draco, as Warshack refers to me. We are going to be jumping into the meta today, and we're going to be jumping into so many more spicy things. But how's it going? Dan, I know your voice isn't super good. You going to be able to get through this one today with us?
Yes.
Glad to hear it.
Just yes.
Have you been gaming a lot?
Can't-
Enjoying
can't-
your time healing? You haven't been working too hard, I hope.
I've just been playing BGs, really. That's about it.
Sounds nice.
And that's been fun. With the quests, yeah.
What have you been up to, Rob? How has your life been? What was your week like? How's your weekend?
Yeah, so for me, we've been playing a lot of WoW. Like large quantities. So that's pretty much all I've done. Yesterday was the first time I left my house in like 2 weeks to go to like a cigar bar with friends.
That's nice,
So.
man. I actually enjoy when you play WoW. It's like my favorite like background stream to have, just because like looking at all the MMO like terrain and changes and stuff like that, I just find it to be like mildly pleasant. So I enjoy it when you go through your WoW phases, bro. But I'm glad you're having fun. You know, despite it not being the primary game that we stream, it is related at least.
Yeah, it's been fun to level back from basically 1 to 70 again on a fresh server. The only reason it's like as exciting is because it's a fresh server, and then like the actual Wrath of the Lich King releases the 27th of this month. So like going through it with friends and all leveling up, and then having the release on like a brand new, like everybody's at the same point server has been good. But I'm glad you like it. It's a pretty chill stream, and you get to see like all the zones and stuff, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I
How's,
wish I could do that. It sounds so fun. Oh my.
How's the Draco? Anything exciting?
I've been good. I did a like a celebration of my like 30th birthday with like all my like best friends last night, and I drank a little bit too much. But other than that, I'm like recovering today. I've been like sick, like I've had a head cold all week, so it's like I haven't been drinking like or doing much like that, and now I just feel like exhausted because I drank a lot last night and I'm sick now. So hopefully today I can just chill. Maybe watch some House of the Dragon when that comes out. Looking forward to that. I've been actually enjoying playing Hearthstone, which is I just wanted to specify that
Interesting.
in a surprising tone.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder why.
I feel like I'm playing Castle Nathria for the first time since the most recent balance changes, because once again it's like I can play Demon Hunter and win games more than I lose, which feels like, what is the word? Exhilarating, when that has not been the case. Like it was like I was running as fast as I could, but I was still going the wrong direction before. And now I feel like we're actually making progress again, My MMR is so fucked. So listen to this. So I got to, when I hit legend, I was like rank 700, okay? And bear in mind, I ended like last season like really low. Like in like the 10k legend. Like the lowest I ever was. And then so I got in legend at like rank 700, and I played for like hours, and then I won a whole bunch, and I got to rank 560. And then the next day when I logged in, I was rank 1500. I was like, dude, this is so aggravating. So then I played more and more and more. So I got back to rank 500. And then the next day, I was ranked 1600. I was like, oh my God, this is infuriating. Like, it's like my MMR does not want me to get back to good ranks. It's just sabotaging me overnight. So,
Dude, I think somebody hacked your account or something. I don't know.
yeah, someone just hacked my account, and then they just lose a ton of games while I'm sleeping. That's what has to be happening. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's funny though. But eventually I feel like I have to get there the old-fashioned way again, I'm getting close to sticking it there. So I'm ready. I just started putting Phelan in my deck, and I'm having a hell of a time. Like, did you guys hear about this inclusion in a Relic Demon Hunter?
Yes, I actually played your deck yesterday. So I was finishing. I had to make. Dude, I've been trying to get a wins with Paladin, and I finally finished that up. And then I'm like, all right, we're gonna play Draco's deck. You did the Twitter post where you like, I played a couple games of Hearthstone, kept winning, can't stop. And I was like, oh shit, this deck looks cool. It's got the Phelan, and you have Topple the Idol to guarantee that you can hit a high mana minion. Plus, it puts a good minion on top. You have Sir Finley, so if you don't hit Sire Nathria or late game, you Sir Finley, and you can get some good colossal minions that way. So I was like, all right, this is pretty spicy. Let's go. And it did really well. I ended up, however, changing 2 cards. I took out no, it was the flankings, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Because we already have, I think there was a decent amount on 4 anyway. Or if you're on 4 and you have coin, you're coining dimensions anyway. I don't know. I found the 4 to be like not as important as a mana slot in that particular deck as some other decks. And then so I took that out for Alex and the ED dragon. And I know those are gen pop picks. A lot of people play Alex and a lot of people play the Insatiable Devourer, but it just makes Topple a little bit more consistent, and it makes the turns when you get those juicy dimensions like a little bit more like showy for like YouTube, flashy, I should say.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Those cards are like definitely that is definitely what people love to watch. They like watch people love watching you play Alex for 0 with Bran.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it won a lot of games too. Like getting out, I like Bran with Alex or just Alexing for Burst. Won a lot, like quite a few. We played like 7 games, and I'd like to say it won like 2 or 3. So
Love that shit. Yeah, dude. Phelan is like this is the best deck that Phelan has ever been in. I feel like is like 30
No.
card Demon Hunter. You know, just
No.
like
no, Hunter
Yes, Hunter,
with
Hunter.
the weapon.
yeah, the Hunter one did cheat the mana too.
Hell
Way
yeah.
worse. Thank
Yeah,
you guys for reminding me.
yeah,
Of
it's
that.
got
That
the
was
mana
really
cheat.
toxic.
I played that shit a lot.
Yeah,
you
just
did.
coincidentally,
Yeah,
all
you
the
did.
colossals are beasts. So it has like
Most of
ridiculous
them, yeah.
synergy
A
with
lot,
that,
yes.
with the harpoon gun. Yeah. All right. Fair.
Yeah, but we see Hunter at the top here, 56%. A lot, like almost 5% difference between that and the second one that we see here. This is across all ranks, by the way. And yeah, Hunter has been gaining in popularity after this last patch. I
it's
believe
so good.
Specifically 40 card Beast Hunter, Big Beast Hunter. That's been pretty popular right now.
I
And,
hate playing against that deck, man.
yeah, it's basically
Like-
just. It seems like the meta has slowed down a little bit since the last patch, and that's kind of all that this deck needed. And it's been putting up really good numbers. Yeah.
I mean, have you played against it? Like, do you like that deck, guys? Do we enjoy tier S Hunter? That's the meta we're in now? We're entering tier S Hunter meta. And it's not even like it's like a mid-range Hunter kind of, right? Like,
I think it's less toxic than like just a pure face hunter being at the top. Personally. But
I agree with that.
I think it's
that's
pretty
true.
beatable as well. Like
Yeah, it depends on like what class you're playing, I assume, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, like, so Hunter normally has like Mage is always, I like to think, a pretty good matchup. Rogue is a pretty good matchup. Just any deck that doesn't have like access to Warlock, most of the time a good matchup, like to a lot of defensive stuffs and a lot of healing. It just does pretty well against. Also, I've been seeing like not only is like the mid-range, I guess, Beast Hunter you're talking about really popular, but I've seen a lot of Face Hunter. I've seen a decent amount of Quest Hunter. Like there's just a lot of Hunter and all of it kills you. So like knowing which, like, you know what I mean? Like at the start, the mid game or Beast Hunter still runs the Face Hunter early game, right? So you don't really know by turn, like it takes like 3 or 4 to know if like they're actual just like hardcore face or they're that like mid range. They just had a really nice curve at the start. Quest is pretty easy to figure out, obviously, but
when they curve out though, it's like
just
unbeatable, man. I like
yeah
hate
they
it.
do 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah 1 2 3 4 5, like almost with any deck though, but like depending on what the strongest deck is, like you could have a nice, like, you know, let's say you're playing Demon Hunter, right, and you're sitting at your 49%, and you're like, bro, I got a really juiced hand here, and then like a Hunter has a juiced hand, and it's just like, well, guess my wasn't big enough. Like you go 1 2 3 4 5, go your Relic Vault into your coin dimensions, and they're just like, you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I have had some hilarious wins against that hunter deck though. Like I remember I was playing against them yesterday and they got me to 3 health, right? So then I like did a crazy ass like vaulted dimensions where it was like reducing everything to 0. And then I like just built this complete scuffed fucking board and then put a Connie down as my final 0 card and then blocked spell. And they had like 1 card in their hand and then it was exact like counter lethal on board. I was like, yeah, man, fuck you. Get out of here, dude. I'm sure you had lethal in hand. I'm sure you did. That was obviously a quick shot or something, you know, like feels great.
Yeah.
Feels great to beat the hunters. 'Cause
Yes.
that deck is like it's kind of free for them a lot of times. I feel like that's always the coincidental tier S deck of Hearthstone. When you can just play the game, not really think about it, and you just win, that means it's tier S.
Yeah. I do feel like of course there's some polarizing matchups like that, like the Hunter versus the Demon Hunter, but I feel like a lot of matchups can go either way, but it's just like whoever does their power spike turn first just wins. Or if of course if you
Yeah.
Theotar the right thing, then you win. But
That's true.
yeah, a lot of
Hunter
games
deck's really vulnerable to Theotar.
a lot of games feel like I mean this has been a thing in Hearthstone for a while, but like high roll is like such a big thing right now. I don't know, like if you high roll you win, and that's just like what it is in a lot of games. That's how it feels, and it's kind of just like blowout games. A lot of games are not so fun, but sometimes you do get to have some fun, and
I'm having fun.
it's a
Yeah,
50-50.
for me, I don't know. Yeah, for me, I don't know what it is. It's probably the WoW, to be honest. Like, I'm completely like I'm playing a lot of WoW, and that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
But when I play Hearthstone, dude, I am not excited. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. It's I go through my 4 hours, I get my content, but I'm just like not excited about anything. Like anything in the game that happens, I'm just not excited. Like I just sit there, I play the cards, I will either win or I will lose, and then I will move to the next game with no thoughts about the previous game, what I did wrong, what I did right. Don't need to get better, just play the cards.
You're
Do
just
the
like
thing with
you're
the
just
stuff.
like numb to the whole game.
Yeah, and I've never felt this way about Hearthstone ever. I have never just literally not cared about making content. Like it just doesn't matter, like at all. I know what a good game looks like. Like I know when like the game worked out and it was like an amazing game, but like in my head, it doesn't matter that it was an amazing game. Like
It's
of
not
course,
exciting
like
you.
for the YouTube, it needs to be exciting and stuff. But like the feeling that I normally get when I have a good Hearthstone game, you're like, damn man, let's fucking go. Like that was good. Like I just like I could be doing other things too.
Playing WoW.
Yeah, I
Yeah, exactly.
I tuned into your stream for like 3 minutes the other day, and you were like, "What's the WoW queue looking like, guys?" And then he's like, "Oh, no queue? Interesting. Okay."
Dude, I've been getting so pumped for the PvP streams. I don't know if you've shown up for any of those, Draco or Dan, but when we do some AV PvP, dude, like holy shit, I'm having a blast. Like I just know how much fun I'm having there, and it is what it
They
is.
have the duos?
Maybe like I said, yeah, they have duos in arena and stuff, but we have been doing 40v40.
Oh, battlegrounds.
And that's been fun. Yeah. And that's been good time. We actually came up like a new strat that's actually like winning too. When it's a 40v40 and you and a buddy as 2 players can dictate that entire 40v40 is pretty fucking cool. And as soon as we get the rest of our boys to max level, it's going to be even better.
WoW PvP is
yeah,
really
hopefully
fun.
like the mini set. Yeah. But hopefully the mini set like brings me back a little bit. You know what I mean? Like there's something exciting or like a card or a class that I really resonate with, but maybe it's just also because like we're getting towards the end of the year, right? So this is where Hearthstone's like drying up the most. You know, at the start of the year, we got the new expansion, we have the rotation, and that's like the best time to play Hearthstone, right? Like that is the best time. So now we're getting to that end of the year, sort of like, all right, what's looking like it's boring. Like
Yeah,
there's
I
just
mean,
running out of stuff.
It's
It's
getting
way better this year than last year, though. Last year was Stormwind, so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
This is way better.
also there is the possibility of a new class coming at the end of this year, so could be
I think it's pretty much
very
confirmed.
exciting. Well,
Well, nothing's confirmed, but it is strongly looking like nothing confirmed. All speculation, but
Yeah.
it is strongly indicating. There's a strong indicator, a YouTube red arrow, if you will, pointing to possibly a Death Knight, which is the class I'm currently playing in World of Warcraft, by the way. So maybe that's something that I resonate with. Yeah. Been playing Death Knight
honestly,
King.
we might be entering like the best era of like Hearthstone, like again, you know, because like so many people got into Hearthstone when Demon Hunter came out. Like it brought like a ton of people back into the game, and like the release that's parallel with the WoW release, and it being like Death Knights. People love Death Knights. I think like this expansion at the end of the year, if it is what we think it is, it might be like the closest thing to OG Hearthstone like viewership that it ever had.
I mean, you know
The
where I
return.
stand on Demon Hunter entering the game. That Hearthstone has gone downhill ever since Demon Hunter entered the game. But that could mean that
You don't think this year's better than last year?
I mean, it's not that hard to be better, but
then it's not downhill entirely since Demon Hunter if it went back uphill.
It's
like
barely.
That's what I'm saying.
But like the game overall has gone downhill, I think, since Demon Hunter. But this could be like the turnaround point. So it went really downhill with the last class, entering the game. But now this class is gonna make it go really uphill. Could solve everything. Game's
I
gonna
think
be
this
fixed.
whole year we've been going uphill. Just to clarify, like it's been getting better.
It's going in a better direction, that's for sure. But I
would say that it went downhill till Stormwind, and then Alterac Valley was like a little bit better.
The turning point, and that's also when Dan released his rap. Maybe Dan's rap.
Maybe Dan's rap is
all around.
Yeah, that was where it came from. Valley. Rap. Yeah. But
yeah. Do you play that song when you go into AV Warshack?
No cap. I have been playing the Castle Nathria a lot. Like whenever my opponent plays Sire to Nathrius, I normally play the song. and then I also listen to the AV song a decent amount too. Like no cap. Like I jam them. Like probably either one of those songs at least once a stream. Like no doubt.
You're not even ready for the Lich King one. Sheesh. The Death Knight
Oh man, that's gonna be good. I can't wait.
Yeah, maybe I'll be in it.
Yeah, we gotta let Rob get in the next one, Dan. Like, come on. He's asked like enough times.
Yeah, we'll throw him a couple bars for sure.
This is me advocating live for Rob. There you go, Chad. This is what our friendship actually is here. Love it.
All right, but next
let's look at the top 1K.
Yeah, we have some. These are the decks that are performing the best in top 1K of Legend.
Beast Hunter, not surprising, on the top. Naga Priest and Blessed Priest are kind of the same fucking thing, but probably like 2 cards different between them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the funniest thing about Naga Priest is the deck can be like the best deck in the game, but no one wants to play it still. It's hilarious, man, because the play rate of it does not equate to the how good it is, because people don't like playing it. And I don't blame them, man. That's the kind of deck I don't ever want to play, which it's like, if you don't draw the wigs, then it's not a game. And if you do draw the wigs, then you might win. You know, you probably win. But like, so the whole game is based off of whether or not you find like your wigs. That's the gamble, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you bring up a really good point. This is like one of the only situations, one of the only decks that we've ever seen it. Like, it's not even just now. Like, this deck has had a positive win rate, and it has proven to be a good deck to play with, like, on ladder. Like, one of the best. And it just doesn't see a ton of play. And like you said, it mainly has to do with the deck. 1, being Priest. People don't like Priest. And 2, it's just not being a fun deck. It is just, like, so not fun to play that even though it wins, which is what people in Hearthstone fucking circle jerk towards, they just absolutely line up like sheep to play decks that win. That is the only thing that gets them off at night for most. That this has that, and they won't line up. You can't get them to buy it. That's amazing.
I mean, people don't like Priest, but they have historically liked decks like this and priests like the buff priest kind of decks. And the people, like, maybe not a lot of people are playing these decks, but the people that do play them, I think they love it. So
You don't think they're playing it because it just wins? You think they actually enjoy playing Naga Priest?
I think
They're
I
not
think
just
the people
enjoying
that
the win.
I think a lot of the people that play it just strictly love it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
'Cause,
Well,
yeah.
someone's got to be playing it still at this point, for it to keep representing that win. But like, I think like like Tonberry is the person I specifically think of as
Yes.
a human being who enjoys this style of gameplay, and I bet if he would probably say I fucking hate Naga Priest if he was here, like because he doesn't play a lot of it, at this point, he would probably be like, nah, I don't like it.
No way. No way.
You think Ton still
He
enjoys
loves it.
Okay. Okay. I don't know, man. I hate decks when I just lose games like unavoidably like that when I don't draw the wig. And I think also when you lose with Naga Priest, a lot of those losses probably feel like somewhat preventable. Like you invested too much of your spells or buffs into one minion. So like you feel bad when you lose with Naga Priest because it's like you have to kind of reflect it on being like your own fault a lot of times. Where like if you play Beast Hunter and you don't draw your good cards, you're like RNG, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, there's also going to be a lot of situations where you just blow out your opponent and you just put down a crap load of stats and then it doesn't even matter. Like, there's no punish for it sometimes. Like, depending on the class that you're playing against, like, you can afford to just go all in on one guy or something like that. But
yeah,
I see what you're saying. You do have to
I'm
know,
happy
like,
that
when to
aggro
pop
Demon
off.
Hunter and aggro Druid get to be in the meta. That's cool. They're actual aggro decks now. I mean, I'm also kind of fine with the aggro Druid deck. I feel like it is like the easiest deck to beat with just a single board clear. So like, it's preying on like polarized matchups. A very polarizing deck, but it's like, yo, did you get AOE? All right, that's the game.
Well, they also stopped running compositing or composting. Like they don't even run the draw anymore. They just like took that out for something else.
It was
they
actually
just
like
got
the worst
so
part of
I
the
don't
deck.
even say greedy. Yeah. I don't know if that's greedy or they're just cutting it because it's like the games that you lose for not having it aren't worth not having it versus obviously the card that you can replace it with and then win a little bit more. But yeah, once you throw up on the board, like that's it. Like there's no reload.
Yep.
And like Implock has reload, and we see Warlock at the top right. I'm in an ad right now. Hold on, let me pull up.
Thanks for the money, bitch.
No. All right. Yeah, Curse Imp Warlock is up there at top of tier 2, and we did see Warlock on the overall at 51.9. And Warlock is a deck that again has, I mean, it has three things now, right? It's got a shit ton of early game. It's got buffs with the vial. It's got a lot of reload with the card, and now it also runs the curse package. So it actually has a lot going for it, which is interesting.
That deck is pretty wild, man. Like when you draw in the right sequence with Curse Imp Warlock, it's just like
It's very strong.
juiced.
Yeah.
It's very juiced. That deck is super good when they draw correctly. Mind Rogue being up there, I don't like that. I hate that deck. Imp Warlock, probably just the more aggressive one. And Fell Demon Hunter is the relic deck, but it has Queen of Zara and Lady in it.
Yeah, this Mind Rogue is really not even that centered around mines. It's just like the Death Rattle kind of rogue. It's a bit of a high roll kind of deck, I think. Like they play the Graveyard and then they play the Swift Scale Trickster, and the draw Death Rattle card, and they just like pray for hitting the good stuff, and it's just like a lot of blowout games, or else they get blown out pretty much. So it's a bit of a high roll deck, but it's very frustrating to lose against. But yeah, what isn't nowadays? But anyway, we have some speculation. So there's a new mini set that's gonna be coming pretty soon, guys. We don't know a date yet. There's not been anything released, but I don't have a graphic for it. But this is the graphic for the last mini set, for the golden mini set, which did give us some very powerful cards like Kazaku-san that warped the whole meta for a bit, and Nyxia, which of course is really, really strong. So yeah, I mean we have, or maybe this is not even the last one. I don't even know. Is this? Did I pull out the wrong image? I'm not sure. But
Yeah, you did.
yeah,
But
whatever.
it's okay.
You know,
Last mini set
sets.
was when we had like Fnatic and stuff.
Yeah, mini sets can be strong like this, or they could be weak like other ones. But regardless, whenever they do, so we just had the wild.
The last one was
Bralaceum.
impactful. They did like, I mean, the only card that I would say wasn't impactful was like Ozamot, right? Because Neptulon was, it was that one. The
Yeah, it was the Sunken City. No, it was yeah, Sunken City. Yeah, yeah.
It was the Neptulon versus Ozamot. Like,
And that was actually a bit of a weaker mini set, I think.
well, some of the legendary cards were weaker, but some of the like most of the more impactful cards from that were the commons, which was different.
Well, anyway, however you look at it, mini sets they can really like shape the meta.
They always change the meta. Typically,
They always change it in some kind of way. And we did just have the wild Brawlaceum. I don't know if that's still going on, but whenever they have an event like that is used to like use up all your gold, it's because something that's going to use your gold is coming up very soon, like a mini set. So basically, I made a video about this as well, and everybody really, a lot of people know it. Is that like when they have these Brawlaceums, like they want you to spend all your gold, and then the mini set comes out like right after, and you're like, oh no, I don't have 2,000 gold to buy the mini set. I have to spend $15, you know. So it's pretty clear, and based on the timeline, like we should be getting a mini set very very soon. Very exciting. So, yeah, possible shake up here.
I hope they give another like relic card, relic support card to Demon Hunter so much, man. Like that would. This is the moment for it, you know, like for them to be like to print a minion that's like discover a relic, add it to your hand or something, you know, like that would be sick. Something like that would make me very happy.
That would be very, very strong. That would be very strong. Yeah, so for the mini set, do we have any predictions on what we think it's going to be?
Well, it's got to be
Any
probably
themes?
somewhere close to Castle Nathria, I would assume. Like typically that's been the theme of this year and the most recent mini sets for that, except for the Onyxia Lair one. That one was like completely out of
That one, yeah.
that was wild. But like the last one,
What was
made
the one that
sense because
corresponded to Onyxia? What was the...
that was Alterax.
Okay, so Alterac, yeah, it was Alterac, and then it went... We all thought like Warsong or Arathi Basin, right? And then it was just like Onyxia's lair.
Which was cool, you know. I like the flair of it. There was all these dragons they got to release in it. You know, they got to finally print a good Onyxia.
So Hearthstone did tweet out about Denathrius not being murdered potentially, and that he's back, and that they're trying to find like a new suspect for something or other. So that's just like a little something in there.
Yeah, I think like, you know, it might be built around the concept of like, so like the Shadowlands is where characters go when they die, right? So like if you murder someone in the Shadowlands, doesn't that mean you like resurrected them?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
All right.
Well, maybe we're getting another Denathrius card in this.
I hope not. I hope this one doesn't endlessly infuse. I actually like Denathrius, man. I think that's like a cool, like I'm team Sire Denathrius did nothing wrong. Like don't nerf Denathrius. That's where I'm at. What about you guys? You think Denathrius is fine?
Not with Brand.
Yeah, well, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess with Brand, he's pretty annoying. Yesterday, I mean, like most of my games were lost to this card. Like, he's just played in every deck that I play. Like, you know what? Like, if he like, I see him every game. Like, he's just like Theo. It's every game. So like, while as a card, I don't like mind seeing him. I don't mind losing to him. I don't mind people playing him. But it happens every game, which makes things feel repetitive for me.
Yeah,
and that's like the thing that I guess
like, it's not Kazakusan now. It's Denathrius, right? Like,
yeah,
and I'd say in comparison
I
to
know.
Kazakusan, Sire D is definitely an improvement. It ends the game.
Yeah, yeah, I would have to agree that this feels better than Prester. I'll give you that. That's I didn't even give you that. That's just true. That's just a true statement.
There's always going to be a card like this, though, right? Like, so, like, if you nerfed an Nathrius, everyone's going to be like, oh, it's fucking Kazakusan time. Let's go. Get fucked. You know, like, that's exactly what's going to happen. So,
yeah, the problem is this wasn't only seen in, like, when we first evaluated the Nathrius, we're like, of course, Druid, right? And then, like, big warrior, just like big decks, right? That involve, like, control. But now it's turned into, like, you can play this in aggro. Like Imp Warlock sometimes plays Denathrius. Thief Rogue and Tempo Rogue play Denathrius. Shaman Murlocs play Denathrius. So
I
it's
think,
just like
that's
unexpected.
Fine, right? Like, is that a problem? It's like a powerful neutral.
No, I'm just stating, like, we were so wrong when evaluating this card. I like, we knew it was gonna be good. I just didn't realize, like, it was gonna be seen in like 80% of decks.
Yeah, I think what we were underestimating when evaluating Denathrius is that I think everyone was primarily trying to find ways to say how Infuse was bad. And so we never really considered, like, what if Infuse was really good? And, like, building all of our decks around Infusion just allows us to take advantage of a whole bunch of powerful cards, like the Fool, and obviously, like, Denathrius is. There's a lot of, like, powerful, like, single cards that infuse as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was very hard to speculate because I think the main reason is because the whole Renathal 40 card, 40 HP, because you don't really know how that plays until you play with it or play against it. Like, it actually, like, 40 HP kind of changes the game a lot, and it slows it down and allows you to build up these infuse cards a lot easier. And like even not even playing with infuse cards, just playing the game regularly against a 40 HP deck, it actually, like, makes your decisions different, because now my opponent has 40 HP. I'm more inclined to trade more into their minions and fight for board than just, like, push some chip damage face, because it's gonna take so long to kill them, you know. So it actually changes the whole way that you play. Hard to really speculate how it's going to be played there. How Infuse is going to interact with this new, like, style of Hearthstone. So yeah.
Yeah, there's probably some Infuse cards in the mini set also, just to, like, you know, link these things together right now. I imagine there's more Infuse coming. So
yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Denathrius and the infuse mechanic is cool. You know, it's very rare that they introduce a new mechanic and it actually is, like, hugely impactful to the metagame. But this time, infuse was that. You know, like, when Frenzy came out, and like, Dredge was pretty impactful for the metagame as well. I really like that mechanic. And Tradable was also really impactful. But this is of the same, like, I would say more infuse is even more impactful in the meta than, like, even Tradable. I don't know.
Yeah, I think both are really good, and both are played in a lot of decks. Yeah. My guess for the mini set, though, I will take a shot in the dark. It's Torghast. That's like it's the it's like one of the new systems they invented in the game. It's kind of like the like a tower of power type thing, where, like, you walk in there and it's like level 1, you clear that, like, zone or, like, floor, and then you go to, like, floor 2, floor 3, and they get harder as you move up, and then the final floor has a boss, and once you clear that's that Torghast, and then you move to, like, the next level of Torghast, which does the same thing. And, like, as you can, like, go on each floor, you're presented with, like, options that make your character stronger. So, like, by the end of Torghast, when you're fighting the boss, you are, like, you're insane. Like, you're invincible, kind of. And they did that a little bit with, like, what is that? Hades, right? Like, as you play, like, through, like, a thing, you get stronger. Yeah. So it's kind of like that.
It's
and
like
that was, like, brand new. Yeah. And that they did that in Shadowlands. No, they did that in. Yeah, they did that in Shadowlands. I'm not.
Well, they just added roguelite mechanics to Battlegrounds, like the most roguelite mechanic they ever did to Battlegrounds in it. And I think everyone kind of unanimously agrees that roguelite mechanics, like,
They're the
improve the
best.
replayability of games.
Yeah.
So
I love
Mhm.
roguelikes. I love it.
So
You're making me want to play Hades right now, bro.
dude, Hades is so fun.
It is.
I honestly like want like I have this like fantasy that there's gonna be like DLC for Hades someday, and I can play something new in it. Like there's like a new hell to escape or something. I know it's not gonna happen, but I hope and wonder and always want to play more Hades.
It's a good game. I want to stream it more. Um, but we have another topic here. One last topic before maybe a little question and answer with chat. Ixar is leaving Blizzard, leaving Hearthstone. Anybody want to dive into this a little bit? Talk about who Ixar is.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
yeah, I think Draco and I both have stuff to say. I'll go first, I guess. So after 11 years, I'm leaving Blizzard. Hearthstone is an incredible game to have played even a small part in its creation and its honor, and I'll never forget that. Thank you for all the players, and a special thank you for the video game creators. And I'm proud what we built together. So, as we know, like in reference, like Ben Brode was one of the previous game directors, and then for a short time, Isker was or Dean was the intern game director for like 3 or 4 months, and then he was promoted to game director like less than 3 months ago. And if you're not familiar with him, he's very active on Twitter. He always does like AMAs, like what was it, like once a week, some crazy amount where he would like literally answer everybody's questions about Hearthstone, game development, idea creation, content creation, even anime. And he'd spend like an hour a week of just answering, go through Twitter. He had hundreds of people asking him stuff. Very kind guy. Like I said, very active in the community, all around, obviously cared about Hearthstone, his job, and like the community and like giving back. And then now, randomly, after like less than 3 months, saying he's leaving Blizzard, and like in this post, again, there's no like, this is just me speculating. There's no like follow up. This seems a little abrupt. Like there's not a lot to go off here in his bio. It's like unemployed, which is like, I don't know, like normally after you would have like a level of this position at like this company, like you definitely would have like something followed up, or like announcing something else, or like, I don't know. This just seems like maybe there was a possible disagreement, or like I don't know. It to me seems weird, but again, he may have just, it's a good promotion to have, and then like he wants to do other things now that he has that on his resume, which is like an amazing thing to have. Like I'm sure his inbox is like absolutely filled with great opportunities. Another thing is his wife works at Second Dinner, which is the company that Ben Brode, the previous game director, started up, and they're doing Marvel Snap. So like there's a possibility that like he can't like say anything or do anything for a little bit until like I don't know if they have like non-compete clauses or whatever where they can't work at another game company for an X amount of time before, but it could be like, he's going to go work with his wife at Second Dinner. I don't know. There's a lot of like possibilities, but it just seems like fast, abrupt. But yeah, game director leaving is a big deal.
Before stream, I brought up the point to Rob that typically announcements like this by a person who is a game director are things that PR has to agree on releasing at specific times, and announcing jobs for people at this level as well is a thing where it lines up on a specific point of the week, because it like these developers leaving and changing things technically influences like the stock value and of the market of the companies and stuff too. So like they have to announce these things at a specific time. So I imagine he probably has another job already, but he hasn't been able to announce it. It's also not weird to point out for the, game developers and people that do what he did to not do it forever, because typically people that designed games, when they become a leader, sometimes they miss the designing part of the game, So being a game director is like being a leader, right? Like you have all of these different people doing these different things that you set into motion and kind of like make sure are doing the right thing for the company. But you're not actually getting to be creative at that point, or as creative as you were sometimes designing the game. So I would imagine a lot of times when people make decisions like this, it's built around that too, where they want to do what they love, which is usually what got them into it in the beginning part, which was making games. And being a director for a game is very much not that.
Yeah. I actually dove into the comments of this on Reddit a little bit, and there was some good examples that I'll talk about here. So one example was like, you go into a job and, like, let's say you're a teacher, right? And you love teaching kids, and it's your passion. You're great at it. You're a great teacher, love what you do. And then as you move up with the teacher, like, there's opportunities to become, like, some of the assistants to the deans. You work in the office, and then maybe the what do you call principal of the school is something that, like, you work up, and, like, you work at the school a long time. But, like, as a principal of the school, you no longer are teaching kids. You're not doing what you loved. You're now on the corporate side where you're doing everything basically but why you started there. And what makes a good teacher, like, you could be a great teacher but a shitty what is it,
Principal,
dean or a principal, or you could be a really great principal, a really good dean, but a shitty teacher. You know what I mean? And it might have been maybe this situation for him where, you go from, like, card design. I'm not saying that's where he started, but, you go to designing these awesome, cool cards to now you're, like, on the corporate side where you, like, have to submit reports, and you're talking to your chairman of the board, and you're presenting, like, how Hearthstone's doing and how much you're making and the marketing stuff you're doing. You're no longer, like, in the intricacies of Hearthstone trying to make a good game. You're just presenting what is currently happening to the higher ups, right? Like, it's a totally different job. And
he admitted that too, right? Like he was like, I want to make games. Hearthstone's already made.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, he did not. He wanted to be a part of game creation and make content, and he loved being on camera and being goofy. He did not want all of the extra responsibility with game director, but because I'm assuming he was great at his job and he had that likable personality, that he just got bumped up, so quickly. I mean, his journey through Blizzard, he started, where was it, in the mailroom or a janitor? It was like one of the lowest positions at Blizzard.
Yeah,
and it was like he just kept pumping. Like, he's just every 2 years he just kept doing better, kept meeting the right people, and just kept doing better and getting more involved. So,
guys, I have to come clean.
And like both are pointing out in chat that he was just promoted to the game director, but the position he was before he was the game director was lead designer, which on that team, it's like practically the same job. Like, you're the guy who's in charge of making the game and all of the coders and developers of the game. But being the actual director means then you have to be a part of the monetization conversations and, like, actually work with Activision, and, like, so still like kind of the same thing though. He's not making stuff. He was a leader, and being a leader, sometimes you miss making stuff.
Yeah, I have to come clean, guys. I'm actually gonna be the next game director at Hearthstone.
Yeah. We're just gonna delete Demon Hunter.
They watched my my exquisite gameplay on my stream, and they decided that I know exactly what the game needs. I know the direction that it has to go in. Yes, we're gonna delete Demon Hunter.
That's super believable.
And we're just gonna start all over.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, that's really deep stuff, Dan.
Thank you.
I don't have any. I'm not one of the people that believes in the doomsday perspective of like him leaving is bad for Hearthstone. Hearthstone's not going to be good anymore. Like, that's always like what people have this concern about. But I'm sure that they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely did do a great job of, like, communicating with the community with this Ask Me Anything kind of thing on Twitter, like Rob mentioned before. And yeah, I mean, hopefully just whoever takes this spot is involved with the community as well. And of course, we're all just hoping for the best in terms of, like, their passion about the game and just continuing to make a good product for us. So all we can do is just stay hopeful. That's with everything in this game. Just next expansion's gonna fix it all. Next mini set's gonna be better. It's gonna be, hey, gotta try to stay optimistic about it.
That is literally what I'm always telling you, bro. Like, right?
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. Copium. All right. Well, this is the segment in the podcast where you guys can ask a question, and we could give you an answer. It's called the
The
question
only thing
and answer
different than
segment.
when we're streaming individually is you can ask us all three the same question at once. This is why it's unique, okay?
It's a crazy concept.
Yeah.
We're going to answer a couple questions.
We're
I know
gonna be.
Warshack has to go to a barbecue, so he's wearing
That
his
sounds
barbecue
nice,
shirt
dude.
right now.
Yeah, it was apparently Hawaiian themed, and I don't really have any Hawaiian shirts, but I found a little shirt with some green trees on it, so that's as best as it's gonna get. What does Warshack bring to the barbecue? Myself, pretty much. I'm not gonna stop anywhere. I was told that like last time I came, I brought alcohol, and I'm just gonna assume it's still at their house, and if it's not, well then, that's sad. But last time I was there, I actually brought stuff.
How many times during the podcast did Warshack think about World of Warcraft? It's a good question.
I actually thought about waking up early and playing prior, and then I thought about AFKing BGs during the podcast, and then I decided against it because it would be rude to divide my attention. And then I did not play any WoW today, but I'm gonna play WoW later for sure when I get back.
Good for you, dude.
You
I'm
said you're
happy.
gonna wear the space cat shirt. Yeah, I thought I was too, but then I realized like it wasn't as like if I go to a Hawaiian event place and I have a Galaxy burrito cat shirt on versus like a palm tree shirt, I don't know. I kind of just want to fit in at this point. I don't want people to be talking about me or come up to me and ask me about my shirt. I'm just too tired. And if the conversation doesn't directly relate to WoW, I would prefer not to talk to anybody additionally.
I think it's fair, dude. I think that's fair. What do you three want to see out of the mini set? That's a good question. I'll go first. I want to see a card that gives me more relics. I would like that even to be attached to some RNG for the YouTube videos, like a 2-mana 2/2 battle cry, add a random relic to your hand. Sounds lit. Like,
Warshack, you go first.
I would like to see like maybe Warrior be playable. That would be really great. Maybe something like that.
What would make Warrior playable? They print Risky Skipper again. You know, like
not even. They're probably like Enrage Warrior is almost there-esque, but I just don't like if they give Enrage Warrior reload, we've got a chance. So something like the old Battle
Rage.
What was it? Battle Rush? Battle Rage? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that would probably change Enrage Warrior completely.
The sad thing is that
maybe
you know
something
that they can't print Battle Rage now because like that already was in the game, and that is like the
but
card
they can print something similar. Like they've done it with Priest a million times. You know what I mean? Like all the Priest AoE are there's so many of them, and they're all kind of similar, but they're all a little bit different. So they definitely can print another card similar to Battle Rage. Like every minion that took damage this turn, draw a card instead of like every minion damage or every card that's damaged. You know what I mean? Like maybe
there's a lot of
like
ways that you could make Warrior better. Like I imagine like the cards that it'll get that it finally makes it performing will be something like the Battle Sworn Mercenary. You know what I mean? Like the one that like copied a damaged minion. That would be pretty crazy.
I mean, the thing with
Warrior, I mean, there's that.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Also in WoW, there's sorry, Dan. There's spells that sacrifice life in order to become stronger. So there could be cards that sack life that make you stronger, or make your weapon stronger, or do something.
Sounds like Death Knight shit, bro.
Maybe Death Knights are kind of like that, but not. They deal dot damage to heal. So basically, a Death Knight is a mixture between a Warlock and a Warrior. But yeah.
Yeah,
That could beat that
Warrior.
knight stuff.
Warrior, if they do make Warrior better, which they definitely should, um, I would hope that they would go the route of the Enrage Warrior as opposed to Control Warrior. Since even though I do like Control Warrior, it's just it's very boring the way that it is right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, like, the thing, if they do try to go the route of Control Warrior, the main thing that Control Warrior needs, I think, is like a better win condition. Because, like, they have Sire to Nathrius, which, I mean, every class using it is very slow for Warrior. They don't really generate a lot of minions on the board.
Tokens. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, Kazaku-san is a thing, but that's, like, even slow. Like, that's, like, so slow. So, they would need, like, some kind of better win condition besides, like, the regular, like, charge combo kind of thing that they have going on with Galvinger. But I would like to see them to go the Enrage route there, make that deck a little better. And then also, I guess what I'm hoping for in the new mini set is Rob said make Warrior playable. I say make Paladin playable. There you go.
Fuck Paladin, dude. Get that Paladin shit out of here. At least Warrior's cool. Paladin is literally carried by a singular card. At least Warrior is like well-rounded garbage. Paladin is without Cariel, there would be no Paladin. There is no reason to play Paladin. That card by itself single-handedly carries the entire class.
Cariels.
I just want to play my mech Paladin again, man.
And it ran Cariel.
I want to play my mech Paladin, bro.
No,
it's such a polarizing card.
Oh my God.
That card is not good for Hearthstone. Like,
no, it's
like
so
that.
bad. It's fucking trash. I hate that card so
hero
much.
Cards
Carries
are so bad.
there's some
Kurtrus
okay
is
ones.
fair.
Like Scabs is fine. Yeah, Kurtrus is pretty fair
Yeah,
too.
of course you think
Kurtrus is good, but
fine.
he's like fair.
I'm kidding. It's
Kurtrus, it does cost 6 mana though, so like that's also kind of good.
Yeah, I think it could go to 7. 7's pretty chill.
You still play him, right?
Yeah. You just would not play that card. Like he's too good not to play. I mean, even at maybe even 8, you could probably still squeak him because of the discounts, right?
You would just have to not bring him in like aggro decks, which is fine.
Yeah, because he's good. Oh man.
all right. I think this is where we're gonna call it though. Appreciate the questions from you, chat. Thank you. And if you guys are just coming to the podcast for the first time, we do this every week, supposedly. So we try to do it every.
Bro, you've been the one that's like out. The hell.
It's not his fault though. He got his like tonsils removed, right? Like
I got my balls removed. So.
He got his tonsils removed. That sounds like his fault. There's a lot of his in that sentence.
My doctor removed my balls.
That's like a thing that happens. It's a
But,
justifiable reason.
We are looking to do this more consistently every single week. You can expect a podcast on Sunday at 1 p.m. EST on either my channel or Warshack's channel. We're going to be looking to have these episodes regularly posted on Warshack's YouTube channel and then also uploaded to all podcast platforms. So if you're looking for a nice Hearthstone podcast, hey, don't look any further. It's right here. It's coming. It's gonna be juicy. You're gonna wanna when you're working out at the gym, you need some like inspiration, motivation to keep going, to pump those weights. Hearing Warshack talk about World of Warcraft, that's all you need, man. That's all you need. And then you can expect a Draco Cat rant about Demon Hunter and how they deserve the most OP cards in the world and everything. It's perfect. So, exclamation point podcast. You can see our fellow podcast hosts here, Warshack and Draco Cat. Hope you guys check out their Twitch channels and also their YouTube channels. And then that's about it. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for being here.
Man, thanks for having me. It's been good having you in a while, Dan. I'm glad you selected to play World of Warcraft with me. It's good that we're going to be raiding soon together. It's been fun. Same thing with you to Draco. Draco's main raid heals. It's going to be great. He's been doing a great job. He's been learning and doing all the things he needs to do to be the best. Yeah. Oh, you're healing too? These guys are both healing. It's going to be great.
Yeah, when you're about to die, just keep going. Keep going, bro. I'll just expect a heal coming in from me any second now.
Yep.
Yeah, anytime. Gonna come in.
Gotta put a shield on you, bro.
Played, so.
Oh shit. All right, have a good one, chat. Thanks for having me.
See you
Have a
guys.
good weekend,
Peace
guys.
out. See ya.
Laters.